Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 11, entitled as Vishwarupa Dharshana Yoga. Sloka 7. Ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnaṁ paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi. These 5, 6, 7 slokas spoken by Krishna are like introduction or preview of what's going to come up soon. Let's see the meaning and translation. Guḍākeśa, O Arjuna, conqueror of sloth and sleep. Sa-carācaram, consisting of moving and non-moving entities, kṛtsnaṁ jagat, the entire universe, mama iha dehe, in this one form of mind, ihaika-sthaṁ, in one place, concentrated in one corner, adya paśya, now see, anyat yat-cha, also anything else, draṣṭum icchasi, if you wish to see, tat-cha, that too, paśya, behold. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. Srila Prabhupada takes this verse and compares it with the current modern technologies and scientists. Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on in other parts of the universe, whereas Arjuna was able to do so simply sitting in one place. That is because of Krishna, who gave him the power to see anything he wants, to see past, present, and future. Someone may say that technology is so matured now that we can sit in one place watching a monitor or a device. We can watch what's happening in the world. I can also see past things that happen in the world and also the future projects which are in pipeline by science and technology. But we should know that it is not complete yet and cannot be compared with what Arjuna is seeing or what Arjuna is going to see. This one has a lot of limitations. How many things can we see in that one monitor? Even for argument's sake, it has the past events. It doesn't have the history or details of every past events that happen, every present things that's going on, every future project that's going to come. It is very limited and we cannot compare that with Arjuna's vision. Krishna calls out Arjuna as guḍākeśa, meaning one who has conquered the sleep. Therefore, Krishna indirectly saying, I want to reward you. What is the reward for controlling your senses? You can see the entire universe, which has both moving and non-moving objects in me, in a single spot, in this one body of mine. Whatever else you desire to see, you can behold them too. Dehe, Krishna uses singular form. The meaning is in this one body of mine, ihaika-sthaṁ, in one part, the entire universe can be seen. just to be clear here, when the Lord says you can see Aditya, Rudras, Vasus, Maruds and many other forms, it's not that there are hundreds and thousands of individual forms standing in front of Arjuna. Rather, Arjuna just saw one form which has these hundreds and thousands of other forms in it. That too in one part of the universal form. This has to be compared with the Purusha Sukta. Over there it is said Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat, meaning the Brahman, the absolute truth, has thousands of head, thousands of eyes, thousands of legs, and etc. And that exactly what is being said in this chapter as well. But that doesn't mean that they are individual forms which stand by themselves separately from one another. How do we know that? Because neither in Purusha Sukta or in this chapter a mention of thousands of hips. It's just one hip to the entire hundreds and thousands of different forms. Plus, Krishna very clearly uses a singular form, dehe. Therefore, it is one form which consists of other hundreds and thousands of forms. Next, Krishna says, Yacha anyat. Whatever you like to see, you can also see those things, Arjuna. So, what could be Arjuna's desire to see in the universal form? The commentators says that Arjuna's doubt whether Pandavas shall win or the sons of Dhritarashtra. In the second chapter, 6th sloka, this was one of the doubt that Arjuna raised. Na chayetad vidmaha katarannagariyo yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu. My dear Lord, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. So Arjuna had this doubt, which is being resolved here. Krishna says, you can see the result right now, even before the war starts. Who will be slain? Who will win? Who will survive? You can see all those things in one corner of my body. Here another question may come based on what Krishna said. Ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnaṁ paśyādya sa-carācaram. See now the entire universe with its moving and non-moving things in a single spot in this one body of mind. If all these are just in one corner of Lord's body, what are present in rest of the parts? Well, the Lord has both material and spiritual world. So the rest of them are aprakrita mandala, meaning the spiritual world. What is being discussed mostly here is the prakrita mandala, the material universe. After speaking these 3 slokas, 5, 6, 7, in the 8th sloka, Krishna actually gives the divine eyes for Arjuna so he can see the universal form. Ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnaṁ paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi. Sloka 8. na tu mam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyaṁ dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram. This is the sloka where Krishna actually gives Arjuna the divine eyes. In the previous sloka, Krishna told Arjuna that be ready. You will see both moving and non-moving, everything incomplete in me. Also, you can see, if you wish to, whatever the future happenings are. But for you to see this one, I have to give you a special eye. And that's what has been done in this sloka. Tu, but you, anenaiva, this very sva-cakṣuṣā, your own eyes, mam draṣṭum, to see my form, na śakyase, you're not able. Divyaṁ cakṣuḥ, divine eyes, te dadāmi, I grant you. Aiśvaram, the opulences, me yogam, my glories, yogam aiśvaram, inconceivable power. That's what aiśvaram, yogam aiśvaram means. Paśya, see, translation. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Many times people argue saying that show me God if He exists. But the point is, God is not something cheap like a toy in the shop where you can just show Him. One has to be qualified. One has to be eligible to see God. Even the qualification and eligibility depends on the mercy of the Lord. Unless the Lord is pleased, we won't be able to see Him. The Lord has to be pleased and reveal Himself to us. What have we done to please God? That's the very first question that we need to ask ourselves. Otherwise, even if God appears in front of us, we won't really understand. It was the same Lord who appeared as Rama in front of Hanuman, Vibhishana, Shabari, and it was the same Lord who appeared in front of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and so forth. It's the same Lord who appeared in front of Pandavas, Vidura, and so forth. It was the same Lord who appeared in front of Duryodhana, Kamsa, Dandavakra. But one set of people could see the Lord as Himself, whereas the others, though they saw, they did not see the Lord as Lord Himself. So here, Krishna, since He is very pleased by the love of Arjuna towards Him, He is revealing Himself to Arjuna by giving him the special divine eyes. Here the term tu is significant, meaning but you. When Krishna points Arjuna as you, he is mentioning that you are in the prakrita, in the material world, with this material body, which has this material eyes. With this material eye, you can only see material things. even with this material eyes to see the material thing, there are a lot of limitations. You can only see so much to some extent. Your eyes can only grasp certain things, not everything in this material world. Secondly, these eyes covers you from seeing me. So the first thing that is needed here is to get the eyes from the Lord, to see those things which are aprakrita, not material. And getting those eyes is the first step. And the second step is, even though we get those special eyes, the Lord needs to reveal Himself even to those eyes. Otherwise, even having those eyes are going to be no use. That means both needs to happen. In our case, the eyes are the scriptures, the Vedas, Puranas, itihasas. We receive these eyes through a bona fide spiritual master, so we can see the Lord by His mercy. Now a question may come, what about those who are liberated, the muktatma and the nityatmas who are eternally present in the spiritual world? What do they have? What type of eyes they have? Well, certainly they have aprakrita indriyas, aprakrita cakṣuḥ, meaning they have senses and eyes which are transcendental. They are not material. Also, they got these things by the grace of the Lord, not just because of their merit. Their senses has no touch to the material world. They are not impacted by the three modes, sattva, rajas and tamas. Theirs are Suddha Sattva. Krishna says, I shall grant you divine eyes with which you can see me. What is it you can see me? Yogam, aiśvaram. See my jnana, shakti, bhala and so forth, and all the auspicious qualities of mine. With the current eyes, you can't even perceive things of this world clearly. What to speak about seeing my auspicious qualities like knowledge, strength and etc. Because if you want to show someone knowledge, how are we going to show the knowledge itself? If you're going to show someone your power of controllership, how are you going to do it? So therefore Krishna says, it is not possible for you to see with the current eyes. Let me give you the special eyes. Divyaṁ dadāmi te cakṣuḥ. With these eyes, whatever I said in chapter 10, you can see them. You can see Adityas, Rudras, Vasus, Maruts, Ashwini Kumaras. When I say you will see them not as me, but you will see them as part and parcel of me. You will see them in my form, in my body. You will see them as my body. You will also see my opulences. You will see all the differences in that one form. The differences are all connected to me as part and parcel. As per Advaita philosophy, the absolute truth doesn't have any differences. Namely, there are three differences which are denied by Advaita school of thought. Sajatiya Bedam, Vijatiya Bedam, and Swahata Bedam. Sajatiya Bedam, the intra-differences. Vijatiya Bedam, inter-differences. Swahata Bedam, the differences within the object. For example, there are mango trees and banyan trees. They both fall into tree category. Though they are different, but they are same family. But as per Advaitam, there is no difference between Atmas. They are all one and the same because there is only one Atma. Vijatiya Bedam, that is inter-differences. Example is mountain and tree. They are totally two different objects. So, as per Shankara's Advaita philosophy, there is no Vijatiya Bedam in Brahman, meaning there is nothing called Achit and Chit. There is only one thing exists, that is Chit. Everything else is false. Therefore, they also deny the Vijatiya Bedam. Lastly, Swahata Bedam. In this, take an example of a tree. The tree within it has branches, leaves, flowers, and you can see all different things within the tree. Again, Shankara denies Swagata Bedam in the absolute truth, meaning Brahman, God, doesn't have any variegatedness within him. There is no name, no form, no qualities, nothing exists within him. So, Advaitam denies Swagata Bedam as well. But our Vaishnava Acharyas, they accept all the three differences. Sajatiya Bedam, even though we are all Jivatmas, there is Paramatma. We all fall into the category of Atmas. The difference is, he is Paramatma and we are Jivatma. But we can say neither way, we are Atmas, therefore no differences. But there are a lot of differences between Paramatma and Jivatma. Therefore, the Jivatma can never become Paramatma. They always eternally stays as individual entity. Next is Vijatiya Bedam. Besides Chit, there are Achit Tattvas as well. The difference is Achit, the matter, doesn't have intelligence, knowledge, whereas Chit has intelligence. Therefore, the differences between Chit and Achit always exist. Swagata Bedam. The Lord certainly has name, form, qualities, senses, everything. But those things are not material. They are transcendental. They are spiritual. Therefore, many times we see in the scriptures, the Lord doesn't have eyes, doesn't have hands, doesn't have legs, but He can walk, He can hold, He can see, He can eat, which means He doesn't have the senses like us. They are not material senses, they are spiritual senses. The reason that this is being explained here, because Arjuna did see all the differences with the special divine eyes that Krishna gave him. Now, through the next several verses, Sanjaya informs Dhritarashtra. Krishna blessed Arjuna with a divine sight and enabled him to see the extraordinary form of his. He also saw that form. And how does that form look like is what is being explained in following several slokas by Sanjaya. Natu mam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyaṁ dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram.
Namaste, Hare Krishna.